Hi, I'm Harrison.
And I'm Sean, and you're listening to Why Didn't I Know That?
Where every episode we pick a topic, research it, and share things we didn't know.
Every topic is randomly generated, so we can discuss anything from coffins to caffeine.
And everything in between. We don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're sure that whatever it is, it'll make you go,
Why didn't I know that?
What's up, guys? We're back. It's another
Episode number 2.
I did not expect to be that energetic. I'm so sorry. We just listened to the actual intro because it's such a banger.
Hype this up.
It really did. It's like the when you go to the sports games and they have the songs to start. That's what that was. That was our intro. It was like from the Chicago Bulls, all the way from what's your street that you live on?
White Swan.
All the way from White Swan Drive. Is it Drive? Oh, look at that. I'm killing it. Sean Hofeld. That's it. And he goes right out. All the cheerleaders go crazy.
We need one of those like laugh track, but it's
That's
like
what
clapping.
We need to love. It's just clapping.
It's clapping.
Like, woo, yeah, Sean. Whoa. All right. We're going. Hi, guys. Welcome back to
the second episode of Why Didn't I Know That?
Wow. The first episode's gotten lots of great reviews. I'm just kidding because it's not out yet. We're filming this. Oh, speaking of that, we're recording this episode and Sean, the real one comes out in 3 days.
Yes.
And Sean hasn't actually watched it yet.
Yeah, I got time. I got 3 days to watch it.
You better watch it before the people. Otherwise, there's going to be a contest who can watch it before Sean, which will be most people. Anyway. So we're here. We're watching the second one. He doesn't even know if the first one's good or not. It is. I will tell you. Well, I think it is.
I mean, I was there during the recording, so
I know, but you haven't. It's better when it.
All
yeah,
polished up.
It's polished up.
Yeah.
I fixed all your blemishes.
Worked out the kinks.
I'm kidding. Anyway, what's the topic, sir?
This week's topic is Halloween.
Yes, people, don't get mad at us, all right? First of all, 2 things. Topic's supposed to be randomly generated.
But we thought this one would be pretty fun considering it.
Correction,
2 days
Sean.
ago.
Who thought it would be fun?
I thought it would be fun.
Thank you.
Because Halloween was just a couple days ago.
Yes, we're filming this a couple days after Halloween, but it'll be like, it'll basically be Christmas by the time this one comes.
Yeah. So
I'm kidding. Anyway,
then we can record Christmas.
Then we'll record Christmas. Everything's going to be behind is what we're trying to say. No, this will be interesting though. I think it'll be, it's a good topic.
Yes.
And we missed it because we're slow getting things going. Anyway, Halloween is the topic. Don't get mad at us because we're doing it now. That's all I'm trying to say. You get notifications I'm seeing on the screen here, Sean. I thought you turned on Do Not Disturb.
I did, but the phone's on.
That's a good segue into, we're recording on our phones.
Yes.
Apple, please sponsor us. This is shot on our iPhones. Okay, let's enough of that. Let's go into it. You want to start? You want me to start? What's the deal?
You can start this time. You can kick us
Jack
off.
O'Lanterns, Sean.
Yes.
All right. According to folklore. Oh, wait. I think this was the main part that I didn't look up was what kind of folklore it was. I believe it's Irish, but let me just clarify.
It is.
He knows.
I believe.
This guy knows. According to, here we go. I'm going to read this and I'll put some dramatic music in the background so it'll be like story time with Harrison. According to folklore, Jack was a devious fellow who outsmarted the devil time and time again. Jack, the town drunk with a clever side, met the devil one fateful night. The duo shared a drink and, too cheap to pay for booze, Jack convinced Satan to morph into a coin that he could use to pay for their beverages. As soon as he did, Jack put the coin in his pocket next to a silver cross. Obviously, that's not a good thing. The devil was unable to change back into his original form, and Jack held him that way until Satan agreed not to take his soul. All right? Pretty good deal. It says, sneaky, exclamation point. Next, the shifty swindler convinced the devil to climb up a tree and steal a piece of fruit. Why would you want to do that? Not sure. He quickly carved the sign of the cross into the tree bark. Again, the devil couldn't come down until he agreed not to bother Jack for another 10 years. So Jack was kind of shifty. Anyway,
He's bought life insurance from the devil.
That was good. Okay. Anyway, shortly after his meeting with the devil, Jack died. All right. Apparently that life insurance, he had it, but it didn't keep him alive. As legend goes, God would not accept Jack into heaven and sent him down to visit the devil in hell. But The devil kept up his promise. He wouldn't let Jack into hell either, and imprisoned him to an even darker fate. All right, will make sense in a second why I'm saying this. The devil sent Jack into the dark night to roam the world for eternity. So he's not in heaven or hell, but he only has a coal to light his way. So he lit the coal, he put it in a hollowed out turnip, and has been drifting through the world, scaring children ever since. Townsfolk began to refer to the figure as Jack of the Lantern, because he had his coal in the turnip, and shortly thereafter, people called him Jack-o'-lantern, right?
Right.
All right. People began to carve their own lanterns out of pumpkins. Jokes. Turnips, beets, potatoes, and then eventually pumpkins, in hopes of warding away any ghostly spirits. That's why we do it.
Oh.
That was much longer than I expected it to be. I'm sorry.
No, that's all good.
Anyway, it's really interesting.
Yeah, actually.
So
the turnips.
So yeah, it started with turnips, not pumpkins, and was like, yeah, the hopes is like to ward away any ghostly spirits. So that's why we do it.
I got some interesting facts about jack-o'-lanterns on the side note of jack-o'-lanterns.
Is this the one with a bunch of numbers?
It is.
Okay.
So the record for the most lit jack-o'-lanterns was 30,581 pumpkins, which was lit in the city of Keene, New Hampshire in 2013.
Is this at once? Is that
this
why it
is
says?
at once.
Okay.
And it's
one
all
spot.
in one like tower.
Okay. They weren't like lit on fire. They were individually
No, they
lit.
were individually lit.
All right. Why?
I believe.
Any reason?
To win the Guinness World Record.
Oh, did they got it? Well,
they got it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you do a lot of things to get a world
And
record.
the same city has broken the record 8 times.
Okay.
So they just keep one-upping
They just
themselves.
keep one-upping themselves.
No one else is trying.
That's the way to do it. They're like, listen, nobody wants to beat us, but we will do it. All right.
And the fastest pumpkin carving was 16.7 seconds, which included a face, so eyes, nose, mouth, and ears.
Who's putting ears on their jack-o'-lanterns?
I don't know. Maybe the ears isn't right. But anyway, it's a complete face.
In 16 seconds?
Yeah, and it took me, an hour to
It
do
took
mine
Sean
the
a
other
long
day?
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a very long time.
Hey, but yours looked probably better than the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah,
with
mine
ears.
looked pretty goofy. I did Goofy.
He did
for anyone
Goofy from
wondering, from
okay,
Disney.
hilarious.
Yeah, comedian.
It was good. That's interesting though. What else?
All right. I can delve
Get going on the
into
real
what
stuff.
I have. Yeah, so I looked into the origin of Halloween.
Yeah, you did.
And so, yeah, it started in Ireland, like Scotland, like parts of Europe around there.
Right.
Ish. And was a Celtic festival called Samhain.
Is it Celtic or Celtic? That's the first question.
Oh.
I'm just asking in general because I never know. Because isn't it the Boston Celtics?
I guess it would be Celtic.
But then if you say something, sometimes it's Celtic. Like Celtic Thunder.
Yeah.
Spelled the same. That's something we don't know. If somebody does know, tell us because we don't know.
And I'm sorry if it's the wrong one because I'm going to be using it.
What do you
Probably
want? Just tell us right off the bat. Which one?
I'll use Celtic.
He's saying Celtic. Nobody get mad at him.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And they used to lit huge bonfires.
One more time.
Bonfires. And people gathered to burn crops and animals as sacrifices to Celtic deities. As like
Is it deities or deities? Is another one.
Oh, jeez.
I'm just saying.
I need a different vocabulary here. I'm struggling.
I'm not questioning you. I'm saying in general. I don't actually know the answers. Anyway, I'm hearing what you're saying. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Halloween's like just a sacrificial practice.
yeah, they used to do it so they burned crops because the harvest was during like Halloween. So it was like to have a good harvest and like good omens, they would burn and like animals and sacrifices.
Oh,
like
okay.
animal
They believed it was like a
sacrifices,
good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They believed that on this night, the barrier between the physical and spirit world are like really close and break down,
Mm-hmm.
and which will allow more interactions between humans and the like ghosts.
Right.
Which is why they used to dress up in like costumes because they didn't want to be like recognized by the ghosts, and they thought they would hide in their costumes so that the spirits would leave them alone.
What? Why that day though? Is there a reason it's that day?
It marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark half of the year. It's like cold winter.
Isn't it originally called Hallows Eve?
Yes.
Was there a reason for that name? Do you know?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I'm sure there is.
Okay.
I don't know.
We don't know that either, folks.
Yeah. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool that like why they used to like wear costumes was just they were hiding.
They were scared of
the demons.
Okay, now we just are demons.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, come full circle.
So from there, the Roman Empire basically like took over all the Celtic territory.
Right. They took over the whole world.
And this is where we get possibly bobbing the apples from, because the Roman.
You're killing it, Sean. How'd you mess that one up? They don't look anything the same.
It's like, I'm talking about Romans. Rome just took over the Celtic territory. We're bringing the Greeks in here.
Okay.
Anyway, the Roman goddess Pomona was the goddess of fruit and trees, and her symbol was the apple.
Okay.
So they combined like this festival from her of like, I don't know. They used to celebrate a festival for Pomona around the same time.
Oh.
Then they kind of combined them, and that's where we mean to get bobbing for apples.
Right.
From.
You ever done that?
I haven't.
I've never done it. I've just seen it on like TV.
I feel like it would be really hard.
It would be hard. It looks like it should be easy, but you're sticking your face in water trying to put an apple in your mouth.
Yeah. Hopefully they're small apples.
I know. I was saying, unless they're big apples. It doesn't really matter. You'd be able to do it anyway.
Probably.
Yeah. Is that all?
Then Halloween came to America when like all the immigrants from Ireland during the potato famine mostly was when a lot of them came over.
When was that? Do you have any idea? Like how long are we talking?
Like second half of the 19th century.
That's not that long ago.
It's not that long ago.
Oh, I thought it was like an old thing.
Not in America.
It started a long time ago.
Started a long time ago in Ireland.
Right.
Ish.
Okay.
Europe.
It's new to us.
New to us.
Very cool.
And first started off in America as like play parties where people would get together and like neighbors would share stories of the dead and tell each other's fortunes and sing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We gotta make everything so stupid.
Yeah.
They got like meaning over there. They're like, it's a
like,
god.
It's
for
the harvest
like, nah.
and the gods. And we're like, yeah, we're going to have
we're gonna
fun
play
parties.
Scrabble. That's us. Everybody come over. We're going to play Pictionary. Yeah. Well, still interesting though. So that's why.
Yes. And then it later evolved into like in the late 1800s, that's when we kind of got like trick or treating started to become a thing.
Do you know why we did that?
I believe no.
We were just really hungry and went to like beg for food or what?
I don't actually know.
Okay, that's fine. We don't know, folks. Some things we don't know. That's what it comes down to. We will provide you with information that you didn't know, but doesn't mean we know it all. Because we don't know any of this. This is mostly just from the internet. Well, yes, it is all from the internet.
It is all from the internet.
All right, I got one. Before I get into the good stuff, we'll leave you with the good stuff at the end. You see what I'm working? I'm starting with the less good and then ending with the gooder.
Okay.
All right. Those are the proper terms. So this is like why we have... I put I've written down here why we have death festivals. Festivals of the dead. You know, there's the in Mexico. It's a thing. Halloween is kind of that. Not really. Anyway, so this is what it said. Death is one of the most frightening mysteries we face in life. Obviously.
I would agree.
Yes. One way to feel more comfortable with this unknown realm is to make light of it. So this brings on all the frightening ideas out into the open, where we can face them more comfortably, enjoying ourselves with other people instead of contemplating mortality on our own. I don't know. I just saw it. I put it in there. That's not really an interesting thing. Here's the real stuff. All right.
Here's the bread and butter. Okay.
We're getting to the juicy part.
Here.
That's right. Oh, I just realized I was gonna have a snack while we did our show. Do you remember? I had that O. Henry. From last night.
Yes.
We have to have a break.
Short
so I can
O. Henry intermission.
In O. Henry intermission, it'll be like ASMR.
That's our
what? That's like our sponsor for this episode.
Yeah. It's just Harrison eating O.
Just
Henry
me eating
bar.
an O. Henry. All right. So this is why we get. So I went a little bit off because I knew you did that stuff. So there's only so much you can learn about Halloween and its history. So we are oftentimes doing things to get scared on Halloween, right? So this is mostly like why we get scared. Lies. Why we like getting scared, because a lot of people like enjoy, the thrill of things, like horror movies, whatever, haunted houses. So people like to feel frightened for biological reasons. Like there's a reason we like to do it. So when you watch a scary movie or take a ride on like a roller coaster, your brain triggers a fear response, and your body releases adrenaline. We knew that. and other hormones that provide extra energy to deal with the situation, right? That's fairly common knowledge.
Right.
When you're actually in danger, you don't really enjoy the feeling of these hormones, obviously, because you're scared for real.
Right.
You just use them to, for your fight or flight response. But when the danger is simulated, so like you're watching a horror movie, going to a haunted house, it's not real. Right. Even though it's like it may feel real, it's not real deep down. When it's simulated, your mind knows you're actually safe, and you enjoy the energy that the hormones give you. So you kind of have this safety net.
Oh,
so you're not actually scared. Like you're scared, but that's just like your body's initial response. So basically, intentional, contained fear is fun because it provides a hormone rush and helps you work through your general fears in a relatively safe environment.
Wow. That's super neat that like our brain can decide if like that we know it's not dangerous, so it enjoys it.
You're going to a haunted house or something, like you're choosing to go there. You know you're going to be scared. It's not like you're walking down an alley and somebody chases you and then like you're actually scared because you don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's interesting. So basically what they're seeking is called like the controlled fear.
Right.
So because you're safe, even though like you might in the moment not feel like you're safe. You know what I mean?
Like deep down, I'm going to be okay.
I'm all right. Yeah. It's okay.
We're going to make it through.
Yeah. And then the other thing is by dressing up as our fears, kind of, I don't know if this is legit or not, we embrace them even more closely, taking control of them to some extent. So like, you're in control of what you're scared of. So like for children, they might be scared of sinister figures and monsters and ghouls and ghosts.
Like clowns.
Yes. And then once they've dressed up as them and they play the character, they may cut through some of the monster's mystery, making it less ominous.
Oh, okay.
That's part of it. So like if things you're actually scared about, like me, I would actually say like things I would like to dress up as like really scary things, but I would like once you do that, I would agree. You feel less scared of those things.
Right.
Once you look into it, which actually comes to something that I will talk about later. But do you want more or you want me to keep going?
On topic of that, just a little quick fact.
Tangent.
Quick fact. The fear of Halloween is a...
Oh, wait. I think I know what it's called.
Okay, maybe you could do an S.
Never mind.
Samhainophobia.
Yes, but I know. Do you know why?
No.
I will look it up again because I forgot, but keep going.
Okay, I can get back into more of what I researched. I researched just like fun little things about like witches and werewolves.
Right.
So we know what witches are, I would assume. That's common knowledge. So during the mid 1400s in Europe, this is when like a lot of the witches were being like burned and tortured.
We talked about witches being burned last time. Look at us. It's dark.
Right.
Okay.
And during the 1500s to 1660, 80,000 witches suspected were put to death in Europe.
How many?
80,000.
What?
Yeah.
That's
which
so
is
many
crazy.
people.
So especially for that time, like 80,000 people, and 80% approximately were women.
I was going to say,
so
do you know if they were women or?
Yeah,
wow.
Mostly women. Which is crazy.
What made you a witch?
So people who practiced witchcraft,
which was
basically what they think is like what natural healers are today. So they would like use like herbs and to make like remedies to try
like
to help. And lots of
them
were like natural healers that were like trying to help people, but they thought like, oh, like they're gonna do this for sinister stuff, I would assume. And then
they were just ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Well, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's actually crazy. I thought they were actually up to like no good. Some of them.
No. Yeah, apparently a lot of them were just like wise women that were like healers.
I mean, I'm sure back in that time, you're a smart woman. They were probably just like, nah, there's something up. Because that wasn't...
Time for the stake.
They didn't like that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you said it's called Samhainophobia?
Yes.
All right. So it's a term rooted in ancient... I don't know how to say this word. Pagan. Pagan? Anyway. It's rooted in that tradition. Anyway, it's a Celtic thing. So it's the festival of Samhain was celebrated as early as 2,000 years ago to mark the night before the Celtic New Year. So it's similar to what you were talking about earlier. It's around the same time.
Right.
That's why it's called Samhainophobia.
Oh, because
the festival
I get
you're
it. The
talking
festival
about
is
Samhainophobia.
Right.
Or Samhain, the festival of Samhain or whatever.
Yes.
And that's why it's called Samhainophobia. All right.
I really should have put that together.
Yeah, it's all good.
It just didn't click.
Nice. Why do we scream when we're scared?
I do not know.
Okay. Well, I do now.
All right.
So I'm going to tell you. Here's a quote. Yes, this was just a quote. I unfortunately don't have who it was, but it was a quote that somebody did say at one point. It was not me. Usually when you're watching something, we've shut down the motor regions of the brain. But the stimuli from the scary scene is so strong that they overcome the inhibition to the motor system. I'll explain that one more time a little bit slower. When your brain shuts off parts of the brain when you're watching a movie.
Yes.
Okay. The scary thing, you probably got it. I'm saying one more time for myself because I didn't fully get it. The scary scene, sometimes it's so strong. It overcomes that. And we jump or yell because a film bypasses our tranquilized state and taps into a primal instinct, which is to react immediately to protect ourselves and warn others. So you're warning others that there's something bad. That's why you're screaming.
Oh, okay.
All right? Before you're actually able to take time to process what scared you, to realize that, it's not a tiger,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the scream is basically a way to alert others in your social group and scare off attackers. Yeah, so basically, these moments just kind of like cover up our rational thought because, we know they're not real, but our brain doesn't know because it happens so quickly. Yep. It's neat though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. We're getting to the good stuff now. I've surpassed the not so good stuff, and the next one is it's good.
All right.
I'm just saying.
So I'll talk a little bit about what I found on werewolves.
Oh, this guy.
Yes.
All right.
So early legends, I found two of kind of early where they thought werewolves came from kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm not going to pronounce this right, but I have written Greek, not Roman. Could be Roman, but I have written Greek.
Own it. You gotta own it, Sean.
Yeah, it's Greek.
Okay, what's the word?
Legend of Lycaon.
How do you spell it?
Lycaon.
Caon.
Yes.
Okay.
So this person, Lycaon, angered Zeus when he served him a meal from the remains of a sacrificed boy.
I mean, that would anger me too, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Not sure why he did that. Didn't look into that, but
he
did.
Okay.
So, as a result, Zeus turned him and his son into wolves.
Oh, all right.
That's
that's a fair punishment for feeding somebody a child.
Seems fitting.
Okay.
And from Nordic folklore, the saga of the Volsungs, where a father and son discovered wolf pelts, and it had the power to transform people into wolves for 10 days. And so they put on these pelts and transformed, and then they went on a killing rampage as wolves.
I thought there was going to be something fun.
Nope.
They just killed people as wolves.
Yes.
Well, nice.
So that's that one.
There's a bunch.
Yeah, no, this is more just a little point, but most famous werewolves from the past of history were just serial killers.
What do you mean famous werewolves?
Infamous. There's some werewolves in history that of people that they thought were werewolves.
Oh, okay.
That did a bunch of killing, and it turned out
they're just
by today's standards they would have just been serial killers.
But because of the mythology and stuff, they were you're a wolf.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is kind of interesting.
It's interesting. But wow. All right. It's a lot of death happening today.
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween. Well, it's not Halloween. It's after Halloween, but we're talking
about Halloween.
All right. Sean, what you drinking over there?
A caramel mocha.
I guess it's just a mocha.
Latte, yeah.
I think it's just a mocha.
Caramel mocha.
I think a mocha implies it's a latte with chocolate milk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, caramel mocha.
That's it. Okay, here we go. This is the good stuff. All right?
All right.
This is one of the 3 categories I have for good stuff.
Oh.
I know, we got a lot of stuff here.
Dang.
Neurocinematics. All right. Take what you know about that word and see if you could tell me what it is. That's what we're going to start.
Neurocinematics.
Yeah.
So how the brain perceives movement.
All right. Close enough.
What's that called?
Well, cinema movies.
Right.
Brain movies.
Yeah, pretty close.
You're pretty close. So there's an emerging field of research called neurocinematics, which focuses on the connection between the mind and the experience of cinema. You're pretty close. The research is mainly used to help us understand what fear looks like in the brain. Well, this specific research, I'm sure they use it for all kinds of stuff. Because I was talking about looking at horror movies. That's what we're getting into. Because we're Halloween horror movies. It's pretty close
together.
But researchers think, this is interesting, that modern filmmaking, with this new and updated understanding of neuroscience and psychology, will be better able to tap into the emotions of fear than they used to be. So...
How so?
One more thing. Well, I don't really know specifically, but I just got a couple of things I want to talk about. In the future, it's possible that filmmakers will be able to use even more precise insights, like more information that they're learning, to directly stimulate certain emotions and to control when their audiences jump and what they feel. So, there's not, I just thought it was interesting. But what I wanted to say, I have here, topic to discuss: are we being controlled without our consent? Because these people are using things about our brain that we don't know even, but they know how we operate, and they're controlling us through watching the movie. As watchers, are we consenting to this because we're choosing to watch them? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess you kind of would be if you opt into watching it. Although you wouldn't know. Where's the line?
That's what I'm saying. Should there be disclaimers? Are there? Probably. It's probably in the fine thing at the bottom that nobody watches.
Yeah, the finest
little thing you can't even see it. It's
print.
Size 2.2 font.
We control your mind.
No, but anyway, that was I don't have any very specifics. I tried to look into what they're using. Couldn't really find it. Probably because I'm not a neuroscientist. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yes. Anyway, but they are using the research to learn about your brain through watching how you react to films, because people, that are watching horror movies, generally react the same. They've noticed. Mm-hmm. No matter what it is, different people, whatever. So they've been learning but once the people, if it gets into the wrong hands, is what my kind of mind went. I'm like, well, if you get people using this for other means, either outside of film or within film, I don't know. Because I couldn't find anything on this. So maybe it's not true, but one time I heard that sometimes in horror movies, because there's frequencies do a lot physically to you, right? Your body absorbs frequencies. So sound, there's what?
Nothing. Yes.
There's, I heard a long time ago that there was a certain frequency or something really low, that you can't hear, but your body can feel, you can experience, and it causes anxiety and fear that they put in horror movies. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's legal. I heard one time it wasn't legal. I don't know anything about it, but I'm just saying it might be there. That's all. Are we consenting to all of this by watching the movie? I don't know. Maybe it says at the bottom, we're controlling your mind.
In fine print.
In fine print. Yep. Anyway, it's just interesting. We're almost there, though. There's more. There's still
all right.
More. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'm...
You're out?
I've exhausted.
Oh, yeah. I kind of went crazy on this because I really got interested. So
you can keep going.
I got two more things. And we're almost... How long were we supposed to make these? It's 28 minutes.
Know. This is 28?
That's pretty good.
Just keep going.
Keep going.
Might as well keep going. If you did the research,
I did the research.
Speak your mind.
All right. So this is people, who don't like watching horror movies or are scared about stuff. People are like, oh, don't worry. It's not real.
The pansies.
Right. Yes. Also known as the pansies. But people horror movie. Oh, don't worry. It's not real. Right.
Oh,
but
okay.
that ignores how horror movies especially make you feel after they finish. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Wait. So there's a psychological aftermath.
Yes.
Of a lot of experiences like this. So the feeling that you experience after a scary movie is no longer fear, because fear is what you're reacting to in the moment. Mm-hmm. It's anxiety. And anxiety is when the fear response goes off at a time that it isn't actually dangerous, but it feels dangerous. So after the experience, your brain has to process what just happened, basically to decide how real the threat was. So thoughts generated by that process can be eerie and uncomfortable. These anxious thoughts are hard to shake, but they're normal. For humans, forgetting what it was like to watch someone get mauled by a tiger could have been the difference between life or death, right? If you just had a traumatic experience, scary experience, you forgot about it, then you wouldn't know for next time.
Right. So our mind is just trying to remember how to deal with it for next time.
Yes. So one of the ways that your brain wraps its head around all of this is through flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive images. So it's basically your mind actually trying to keep you safe
by reminding you of what happened.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's why you're getting scared more because your brain's trying to help you, but you're like, brain, come on, listen.
It's over.
It's over. So that's why like those
Forget about
psychological ones will really stick with you.
Yeah.
That's why they really stick with you.
Right.
Also because, you know, neurocinematics. Neurocinematics. Anyway, there's a way. I did look into a way to reduce that after.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to, like, you're scared, you're watching a movie, right, Sean? What's a scary movie you're watching? Dora the Explorer. I know.
Yeah,
Gets you sometimes.
That one.
I know.
It's
just too much.
Sometimes Swiper be swiping too hard.
Swiping too. Anyway, a way to reduce the anxiety after is basically to prove to yourself that the thing isn't threatening, because your brain's trying to figure it out. So basically, if you're watching a movie, or like if it's like zombies are going to attack you, well, think about how realistic is this, right? Very realistic, obviously, if it's zombies. And but like if you're watching a movie, watch a behind the scenes things. It kind of removes the realness of it. You're like, oh, this is how they did it, whatever. Yeah. Other way is to lean into it and like watch the movie again, and then like activate the fear response, but teach yourself that despite what you're feeling, there's no actual danger. Like we were talking about before.
Because it wouldn't be as bad the second time, and then you'd be kind of used to it.
Yes, sir. Anyway, last thing. All right. Here it is. This is just kind of a neat thing. Scariest horror movies according to science.
Oh, okay. This is a good one.
This is a good one for us last. I'm just saying. People found, okay, first of all, here's how they did it. The study tracked heart rates on a small sample of 50 people of different ages as they viewed over blah, 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 blah. They watched in a super great spot. They were watching, anyway, ideal situation. 50 people. And it was the top 50 rated movie, like horror movies. So it doesn't mean they were necessarily the scariest, but out of the highest rated, which are probably pretty scary. Right. Anyway.
You would think.
Yeah. Well, they found that also the horror movies that were psychological in nature and based on real events were the scariest, first of all. Understandable. And because we're more scared by things that were unseen or implied. So stuff that isn't there is what we're more scared of than we're seeing.
When we get imaginary.
Mm-hmm. When you start... Yep. And so here we go. This is how they did it. But the participants' average resting heart rate was 65 beats per minute. But when they watched... director Scott Derrickson's 2012 horror movie. Who do you think it is? What movie do you think it is?
I honestly... No idea.
Sinister.
Oh, okay.
Their heart rates rose by 32% to 86 beats per minute. That was the highest recorded heart rate in the study. It just demolished the other ones. So it made people the most scared. According to that, like that's how they're judging how scared you are. But the top one was Sinister, and this showed up on different sources. I looked it up.
Okay.
All right. Other ones after that, Insidious, The Conjuring, and then Hereditary. There's a bunch of them, but I just gave you top 4.
So they just recorded resting heart rate, or
like heart rate, and then they had them like all attached while they were watching stuff, and then they saw, and people got more scared, or their heart rates went up watching Sinister on average. Have you seen any of those movies?
I've seen Sinister.
Okay, I haven't. Is it scary?
Yeah. Kind of.
Are you like that guy that's just
spooky.
Like, I'm not scared.
I mean, I don't get scared by anything.
Macho.
Yeah.
And Sean's in the corner like crying, covered up in a ball with the blanket. No comment.
If you fall asleep, you don't get scared.
That's it for the information I have.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty good. Halloween.
Episode 2. Why didn't I know that?
Why didn't I know that? I was going to say something. I don't remember what I was going to say now. But if anybody wants to sponsor the show, other than O'Henry, because they're already a sponsor of the show, I'm going to listen. Actually,
Apple,
why?
If you're listening.
Our Apple, if you're listening.
This is shot on iPhone.
This is shot on iPhone. Listen, well, they'll know that. It says at the end. What I was going to say is that we should do a segment in the middle of this, because we don't have any sponsors, because I don't even know who's watching this, because it's not even out yet. So I hope somebody watches it. We should do a part where we make an ad for just a random thing.
Oh.
In the middle. Like a fake ad.
Fun. Yeah.
All right.
Just something just really random.
Really random. What do you, I'm putting you on the spot. Can you do it? If I give you a topic?
Yeah, maybe you got to give me a topic.
Okay, well, I'll give you a thing. Okay. Yeah. Craft. Oh, wait, I was going to say, let me think about this. Yeah, craft marshmallows.
Kraft marshmallows.
Go. This is the end of the show. We'll both do it. Let's both go back and forth. So then it's both of us. We'll just go off each other.
Okay.
You want to start?
No, you can.
You want me to start? I gave you the topic.
That's okay. Yeah, so you should be able to start it.
Well, they're like the jet puffed ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right. And this week's sponsor of the show, Jet Puff Marshmallows by
Delicious.
Kraft. Incredible. Made from pork fat. Freaking best marshmallows around.
Next time you're on the campfire, nothing's better than Kraft.
Nothing.
Marshmallows.
Nothing's better than Kraft. Listen, I want you to when you get around, you're telling stories.
They're so good. They're even good burnt.
They're even good. Well, that's debatable. But Kraft marshmallows, incredible. Not a sponsor of the show. Maybe one day. We'll see you next time.